Got me reminiscing back to when days were great. Got me wishing it was 1988.
Got me reminiscing back to when times were great. Got me wishing it was 1988.
What's up, Lime Nation? We'd like to welcome you back to our monthly look at hip-hop's past, namely the Rap Flashback, September edition. For many, the month of September marks the unofficial end of summer, but it's been a big month over the years for rap album releases, pretty much ensuring that if you're a hip-hop head, you're still feeling the heat, even throughout the autumn months. The legendary Marley Marl dropped Control Volume 1 on September 1st in that magical year for hip-hop, 1988. This album's standout track is without a doubt The Symphony, a classic Juice Crew track that features Master Ace, Craig G, Kool G Rap, and the iconic Big Daddy Kane. Also released in 1988 on September 13th, Eazy-E's debut solo effort, Easy Does It. Though technically a solo effort, it really was the first NWA album, as MC Ren and Ice Cube penned a good chunk of it, and of course, Dr. Dre and DJ Yella produced the entire project. Despite very little radio play, as at this point in hip-hop's history, mainstream America was still terrified at the prospects of gangsta reality rap, the album went double platinum and set the tone for NWA's success. The standout track on this record? Definitely Boys in the Hood. And much like Eazy, we at JP Line Productions know nothing in life but to be legit. But don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said shit. Naughty by Nature dropped their self-titled debut on September 3rd, 1991. Powered by hit single OPP, the album would achieve platinum status in just 5 months, cementing Tretch, KG, and Vinrock as a force to be reckoned with. Taking nothing away from 1993 and Poverty's Paradise, this remains my favorite album by the trio, with standout tracks including Yoke the Joker, 1, 2, 3, Uptown Anthem, and my personal favorite, Everything's Gonna Be Alright. Damn near a tearjerker if you listen closely. Okay, and if you're hyper emotional. It happens, people! Moving on. September 3rd, 1991 marked the release of Nature of a Sister by Queen Latifah, featuring the standout track, Latifah's Had It Up to Here. Shoutouts to Latifah, the queen of rap, point blank. As happy as I am for the career she's had since she stopped recording, I really do miss her on the mic. Hopefully one day she'll drop some new material. Maybe even a collaboration with them JP Line boys. But I digress. Another prominent woman in hip-hop, MC Lyte, spent her entire early career releasing albums in September. Her debut, Light as a Rock, dropped on September 13th, 1988. She followed that up by releasing Eyes on This almost a year to the day later on September 12th, 1989. And her third record, Act Like You Know, dropped on September 17th, 1991. A fantastic 3-year run for Lyte. Standout tracks on these albums include the classics Paper Thin, Cha Cha Cha, and Poor Georgie, respectively. And just when you thought Lyte was all set with September, she went on to release her greatest hits album, The Very Best of MC Lyte, on September 3rd, 2001. Shoutouts to MC Lyte for doing her part in making September an exciting month for rap enthusiasts. A Tribe Called Quest dropped their classic, Low End Theory, one of the first albums to fuse hip-hop with that laid-back jazzy feel, on September 24th, 1991. The album was met with widespread critical acclaim, cementing Tribe as one of the most influential groups of the 90s. Standout tracks include the hit singles Check the Rhyme and my favorite all-time Tribe track, Scenario. Here we go, yo! Here we go, yo! So what's a scenario? One of my all-time favorites, Mr. Funk Dr. Spot himself, Redman, dropped his debut, What, the Album, on September 22nd, 1992. The album was then, and still is today, a favorite among rap fans who like that gritty street feel, and it would go gold by June of 1993. Let's get one thing straight right now. There will never be a better track to get hyped to than Time for Some Action. It's just not possible. By far the best pump-you-up high-energy rap track of all time. Breaking free from his successful run with Boogie Down Productions, KRS-One released his first official solo album, Return of the Boom Bap, on September 28th, 1993. Peaking at number 37 on the Billboard 200 charts, no small feat for a socially conscious record. The album featured standout track, Sound of the Police, a song that's equally political as catchy. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. See what I mean? Just damn catchy. Moving right along, No Limit mogul Master P dropped the wildly successful Ghetto D on September 2nd, 1997. Selling more than 250,000 units in its first week and peaking at number 1 on the Billboard 200, Ghetto D helped cement No Limit Records as one of the premier labels of the 90s and brought a lot of visibility to Southern rap. The standout track on this album has to be the infectious Na 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 Na. September 29th, 1998 marked the release of 2 classic records by 2 of the greatest contributors to hip-hop, namely Aquemini by Outkast and Volume 2, Hard Knock Life by Jay-Z. Huge day for hip-hop right there. Aquemini went platinum in a month, eventually achieving double platinum status, and Hard Knock Life would go 5 times platinum and won the Grammy for Best Rap Album in 1999. Simply put, between tracks like Rosa Parks, The Art of Storytelling, and my favorite, the trumpet-infused Spotty Yachty Dopalicious, and of course, Jigga What, Jigga Who, Can I Get Her, and the Annie sample-driven Hard Knock Life, who wasn't bumping both of these albums hard back in the fall of 1998. I know I was. And to wrap up this segment, the late, great, and entertainingly eccentric Old Dirty Bastard dropped his second album, N-Word Please, on September 14th, 1999. The standout track on this record, Got Your Money, by far. Even the most respectable women were singing along to the hook when this song was hot, further solidifying Dirt McGirt as a true pimp, at least in my eyes. Rest in peace, ODB, we miss you. Until the day the earth finally perishes, Wu-Tang is for the children. Typically, by the time we get to this middle segment, we've already featured our album and track releases. However, 1 week in September of 1994 proved to be so critical in hip-hop's history that we decided to give it its own space. On September 13th, 1994, the late great Notorious B.I.G. released his classic debut, Ready to Die, featuring standout tracks Juicy, Big Papa, Warning, Things Done Change, Machine Gun Funk, Gimme the Loot, Suicidal Thoughts. Alright, I think you can see where I'm going with this. The whole album is dope. Ready to Die was important for a number of reasons. A gritty street album at its core that's at times laced with an R&B and rap fusion. It's powered by the raw emotion and technically flawless flow that only Biggie could deliver. It was huge in the streets and would eventually reach quadruple platinum status. Simply put, that mixture of underground and commercial success was the moment when the East Coast, which at the time was lagging behind the successful runs of West Coast standouts such as Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, started to bridge that gap. Most importantly, however, Ready to Die introduced the masses to the man who many consider to be the greatest pure rapper ever, the Notorious B.I.G. Rest in power, Biggie. We'll always love Big Papa. Just 1 week after Ready to Die dropped, Biggie's bad boy label mate, Craig Mack, would release his debut, Project Funk the World, on September 20th, 1994. Though the album would not achieve the commercial success of Ready to Die, it was definitely a favorite in the streets. Powered by the smash street anthem Flavor in Your Ear, and when combined with the impact of Ready to Die, Project Funk the World helped cement Bad Boy Records and Sean Puffy Combs as dominant entities in the 90s. We'll only quickly mention the mid-90s turmoil between Death Row Records and Bad Boy because we all know how unfortunately that turned out. But the tragic ending notwithstanding, the impact of that battle would go on to heavily shape rap music and hip-hop culture for years to come, if not still today. What a huge week for Bad Boy Records, literally changing the course of hip-hop history in a 7-day span. Fittingly enough, as the two men are forever linked in hip-hop's mystique, we move on from the Notorious B.I.G. to the outlaw, thug life immortal, Tupac Shakur. September 7th and September 13th of 1996, respectively, were the days that Tupac was shot and then ultimately met his demise. Truth be told, I can spend an entire rap flashback talking about Tupac's influence on not just myself, but rap music and hip-hop culture as a whole. Simply put, he's an icon. With 75 million records sold worldwide, he's one of the highest-selling artists of all time. Even in his death, he's been instrumental in shaping the careers of many of hip-hop's top performers. Would DMX, Ja Rule, Lil Wayne, and even Eminem have been as successful as they are without Tupac's influence? Would they even have careers had Tupac lived? Interesting topics that Pac fans, myself included, have debated ad nauseum over the years. From a personal standpoint, I'll say this. As a child, I wrote a boatload of poems, and I threw them away. I'd write a poem, read it once or twice, then throw it away right on the spot. It wasn't until I started to pay closer attention to Tupac's lyrics in the mid-90s that I actually started saving my poems, which eventually evolved into rap verses. I think you see where I'm going here. I have many favorite MCs, namely Nas, Rakim, old school Fresh Prince, and most recently, Kendrick Lamar. But in all honesty, it was Tupac's music that made me stop throwing away my writings and push me to become better. It was Tupac's music that gave me the courage to try rapping and to ultimately record and perform. It sounds corny, I know. I'm sure thousands across the world have said the same thing about Pac. But all cheesiness aside, at least from my standpoint, it's the truth. And for that, Tupac Shakur, I want to thank you. Rest in power. Quick side note before we get to birthdays. If you haven't heard of Casanova the Don out of Newark, New Jersey, check out his music and the article I wrote about him on our hashtag JPL Magazine blog at www.jplineproductions.com. The guy sounds exactly like Tupac, and from a promotional and artistic standpoint, he's not hiding it. As a Pac fan, I love it. I say, if Rick Ross can get rich in large part due to Biggie's image and techniques, let's embrace this Casanova cat. The music is for the most part fantastic. It's almost as if Tupac were still alive in Cuba with his Aunt Asada, using Casanova as his own personal Milli Vanilli. But I've said too much. Just go to the website, read the article, send me your thoughts, and check out all the other awesome content that's up there while you're at it. And to close out the rap flashback, we'd like to wish a big happy birthday to the following September babies. First off, a big happy birthday to the Smiths. The Fresh Prince himself, Will Smith, was born on September 25th, 1968, and his wife Jada Pinkett Smith on September 18th, 1971. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Will's hilarious and legendary sitcom, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, debuted on September 10th in 1990. R.I.P. Uncle Phil. Moving on, more birthday shout-outs to Mr. Flavor in Your Ear himself, Craig Mack, September 3rd. Miss Il Nana, the beautiful Foxy Brown, September 6th. The Godfather of Gangsta Rap, Eazy-E, September 7th. Mr. Black and Yellow, Wiz Khalifa, September 8th. The Super Thug, N-O-R-E, Nori, stands for Now We On the Run, Eaton, September 6th. An 80s MC who battled KRS-One and is definitely down by law, MC Shan, September 9th. The man who taught us all that ain't no half-steppin', Big Daddy Kane, September 10th. An ATL MC who has hoes in different area codes, Ludacris, September 11th. My two favorite members of Bone Thugs and Harmony, Busy Bone, September 12th, and Lazy Bone, September 23rd. A man who's, in my opinion, the most underrated rapper ever, Keith Murray of Def Squad fame, as well as super producer Swiss Beats, September 13th. My guy, half man, half amazing, Nas, September 14th. Beatbox legend, Dougie Fresh, September 17th. The Sunshine State, Florida, September 17th. Wait, Florida? Isn't that supposed to be Flo Rida? Alright, who forgot to space that out on the teleprompter?
Scholar, you programmed the teleprompter yourself.
Oh, damn, you're right. Wale, September 21st. Mystical, September 22nd. So-So Def Mogul, Jermaine Dupri, and Slaughterhouse MC, Crooked Eye, September 23rd. Half actor, half rapper, Donald Glover, a.k.a. Childish Gambino, September 25th. Young Money Mogul, Lil Wayne, and Trick Daddy, September 27th. Pimp C, September 29th. And lastly, both Mr. Auto-Tune himself, T-Pain, and old school legend Marley Marl, September 30th. That wraps up the September Rap Flashback, folks. As always, we'd like to thank you for watching and invite you to tune in next month as we drop some more knowledge on y'all. Be sure to check us out at www.jplineproductions.com, your one-stop shop for all things Lime and all things hip-hop, past, present, and future. For my partners, Professor and Spaceman, I am Scholar, signing off. Keep liming.
Keep liming.